short time ago, the ACT Chief Minister Andrew Barr provided an update on the Territories' response to the Sydney COVID cluster, announcing the ACT will extend its 14-day quarantine requirement for returning travellers from the Northern Beaches, Greater Sydney, Central Coast and Wollongong to January 6. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Well, look, thank you, everyone. Good morning. We're here to provide an update on the ACT's COVID situation. The measures that we will continue in place over the New Year period, and to reiterate to the community that the continuance of new cases in New South Wales, and particularly now spreading into the Greater Sydney and Wollongong region, serves as a timely reminder that we need to maintain our vigilance in response to COVID-19. And that the risk is more elevated now than it has been for some time. And so with that in mind, the Chief Health Officer has determined to continue our current travel restrictions, our quarantine requirements and our key messaging that residents of the ACT should not be travelling to Wollongong, Greater Sydney, the Blue Mountains, Nepean or the Central Coast. Those areas remain COVID hotspots, and today's news from New South Wales confirms that absolutely. In terms of people from those areas travelling to the ACT, that again should not be happening. ACT residents who've been in those areas who need to return home will need to go into self-isolation, home quarantine for a period of 14 days. What we are asking is ACT residents to contact us if they are returning from those areas so we can be aware of their return and monitor their quarantine arrangements. We have around 1,500 people in quarantine at the moment, and there have been obviously thousands of people pulled over by ACT policing as they come back into the Territory. We will continue this level of monitoring, advice and activity. What we want to ensure is a risk-based approach. We're going to keep the ACT open and keep our level of current community restrictions as they are, but in order to do that, we need to step up our vigilance and activity, advice and warnings in relation to the Greater Sydney, Wollongong and Central Coast and Blue Mountains, Nepean areas. So that advice remains now into the new year. We will reassess this situation early in the new year on the 4th of January and make a further announcement on the 5th of January. We are, of course, monitoring the situation every single day, and if anything changes to that advice, we will, of course, convene a press conference and make people aware through the usual channels. But for now, the current arrangements will stay in place over the New Year period and will be reviewed again early in the new year on the 4th of January. Each day New South Wales provides an update, and we of course monitor that closely and continue our close engagement with the New South Wales Government in relation to what's happening in Sydney, the Northern Beaches, Wollongong, Central Coast and the other areas of concern.
That's the ACT Chief Minister there providing an update on their borders.